If you're like me and you want to create this intentional environment that allows your Black children to grow and thrive and to flourish into themselves, then the biggest lesson I would say is to... Hello world. Today, we're talking about slow living as a mom with 2 baby boys. There are so many benefits to slow living. And today, what I want to focus on is my intentional process for raising free Black children through this mindset shift of slow living. I used to think that I had to rush, that I needed to be on top of my schedule, even with having children. And the reality is that gave me so much anxiety, that made me feel so much pressure. It made my chest feel tight. It made my body feel hot, because every day it would make my mind race, just playing through all of the things that I needed to do and the schedule that I needed to follow. And don't get me wrong, I still do live by my calendar, but my calendar is very fluid. If I'm going to do something for the day, I'm going to spend hours doing that thing. I am not at the stage in my life where I can do something that's just 30 minutes and I'm with the boys. If I need to run to the store, I have to have somebody watch the boys while I run to the store, meaning I'm getting out of the car, going in, picking up 1 or 2 things and coming back out. Because if I am feeling rushed, that does not support my nervous system. When I think about slow living, the whole purpose for me is to raise Black children that have free will to think and be who they are, to feel their own sense of independence, to feel interdependent, to be connected to themselves, to their families, to be rooted within their values. That is why slow living has been a very important part of my motherhood journey. The first thing that I started to incorporate into the slow living process is changing our environment and how we operate day to day. So instead of us rushing to get out the door and to get dressed and to eat breakfast, we actually take our time. We get up in the morning, we have a very hearty breakfast. Sometimes I will make lunch before we head out if there's nothing prepared from the night before. I'll pack our lunch, and when we get ready to head out, I have water bottles, lunch boxes, potties, change of clothes, diapers, everything we need so that we don't have to feel rushed to come back home while we're out for the day. The environment that I'm creating for them is meant to nurture them, to help them build up their own independence. And I'm gonna be the first to tell you, I am not stopping anybody's growth. I'm not stopping anybody's independence in here, because the quicker I can get them to independence, the quicker I can get to my independence. So I have to take time to nurture them. I have to take time to teach them. And I also organize everything into the baskets. We can start with the books. Here, Mama, you put the balls in here. Put all your balls. I want you to put the books in this one. You put all your balls in this one. Okay? Get the balls and put the balls in this basket. Look like this. See, we put all of our balls in the basket. I'm gonna put these books in here. Look, here's another ball. Wait a second. Here, look. Here, Ahmed, hold this, hold this. Here, Ahmed, here. Today, we just got these new baskets that I ordered to organize them in their bookshelf. And it's a good opportunity to slow down and practice listening, practice putting away their things. And even though we're not going to actually accomplish true organization right now, it's still good for the boys to get into the habit of putting their toys into this basket. So that's really why we're doing it, just so we can say clean up, clean up. and then eventually they'll get into the hang of it, and they'll start to clean their own toys up. But right now we are slowing things down so that they can practice. And I also need to give them room to learn. At Bamba's age, he's 2.5. There are so many things that he wants to do on his own, and I have to give him the space to do it without rushing him to do it quickly, without rushing him to respond quickly, without rushing him to climb into the car, into his car seat quickly. I have to give him space and freedom to do the things. As we all know, the more you do things, the more reps you put in, the faster you become. And so with this slow living mindset, it's all about taking our time eventually to speed up. And that's the way that I have created this environment, specifically so that in our home, we can create more calm and peaceful experiences. And my nervous system is not all over the place. If I'm creating an environment where I'm rushed and I'm anxious, that's going to come across in how I'm mothering. That's going to come across in the responses that I give to the boys and even to Musa. And so this slow living mindset has really helped me to calm down. And I'm the type of person who is like, go, 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 before I was a mom. But then I realized I cannot do that as a mother. That is too much pressure. That gave me too much anxiety just to even think about. See, I'm having to calm down now because thinking about it is making me anxious. The second change that I made to this slow living journey is integration over separation. And for me, that looked like not hiding motherhood in professional settings. When I showed up to networking events, when I showed up to entrepreneur accelerator programs, when I show up in my virtual meetings, I'm showing up as a mother. So you're going to see the boys. You're going to hear the boys. They are always with me. I didn't want to create this environment where I can only have meetings during their nap times, because there are so many other things I can be doing during nap time other than sitting in a meeting. So I take my meetings throughout the day. We don't do meetings during breakfast because breakfast is a really demanding time for me. So that is a time that I block off for the boys specifically. But after breakfast, everybody is cool, calm, collected, bellies are full. So I can plan a meeting and you'll hear them playing in the background. You might even hear them crying and screaming in the background because that's what they do. Another way that I've integrated motherhood into my professional setting is even through my email signature. After giving birth to Bamba and coming back into the working space, working on my business, I changed my automated email response to say, hey, I'm experiencing life as a new mom, and can you give me 24 to 48 hours to respond back to your email? Most of the time, I'm checking my emails regularly. So I respond back very quickly. That helped for me to just set the tone to say, hey, I'm a mother, but I still am capable of getting things done. Anybody who knows me knows that when I'm showing up with the boys. One is by choice, but the other reason too is because I live in Los Angeles and I don't have a lot of support to help me with the boys because Musa's always working. So a lot of times when I want to do things that make me happy and that push my business along, what ends up happening is I do have to do them with the boys because I don't have support for anybody to watch them for me while I go and do this networking event or do things like hold a meeting without them being present. To reduce my anxiety around my own identity and who I am outside of motherhood, I just started to incorporate the boys into the things that I do and that I was doing before I became a mother around work and around growing my business so that I feel like I still have a part of me while also nurturing and taking care of them. I have only gotten one negative response about bringing my children to professional settings. And that was just last month, and Bamba's 2.5. But people have been so gracious towards me on this journey. So many people are either like, I don't have children, so I can't speak on it, but go girl. And then you got other people who are like, oh, I've been where you are. You're doing amazing. Just keep going. And your boys are really going to thank you when they get older. Integrating them into my life versus separating motherhood from the rest of my life has made me feel more present with them and present in the aspects of my life that matter to me. The third change that I started to incorporate, and this actually is not a change, this is something that I always do because I'm a nature girly. So of course the boys are going to be out in nature. It's just, it's just how we live. Nature inherently requires us to slow down. Because as you know, the process of things happening naturally are not just this quick, fast, microwavable process. Nature pulls us into this experience. We're able to take time, smell the flowers, roll in the grass, look up at the trees, look up at the sky, search for the moon. Those are the things that we do with the boys on an everyday basis. And one of the things that I really wanted to engage them in as they're growing is play-based learning. So they do go to a homeschool and it is all play-based. We do some lessons, but the lessons are not academic lessons. The lessons are more so tailored to exposing them to different things like photography, cooking class, nature walks, things that just broaden their music class too. Yes, they do music class. And all of this is done at the park. We also do story times at the library as well. Having this play-based learning environment that happens outside has been an absolute game changer for us, because what I notice is that when we're trapped in the house for a certain amount of days, tantrums run rapid. The babies are just unhinged. They're climbing on the table, the walls if they could. They're climbing on the tables, climbing into the chairs, and just a lot is going on. They're not in the best mood because we're just in the house and we don't do screen time. So they have a lot of toys they can play with. But I noticed that when the second we literally walk out that door, moods change. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, we're getting fresh air. So going outside and being in nature not only helps my nervous system, it helps the boys' nervous system as well. I also want them to be comfortable in nature. I want them to get their hands dirty. I want them to get their bodies dirty, their faces dirty. I want them to play and just be free. I'm raising 2 Black sons that need to know what it's like to be free, to be uncontrolled, to have peace, to have all the freedom to be curious and creative. Even going for walks, like anything that we can do to get us outside, that helps us to stay regulated within our own emotional states. If you're like me and you want to create this intentional environment that allows your Black children to grow and thrive and to flourish into themselves, then the biggest lesson I would say is to incorporate some elements of slow living into your life. Can you think of any moments in your life where you can practice slow living? Also, if you are liking this video and liking this content, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because what it does is it lets the algorithm know that you like this information, and so we can share with other like-minded people who could also benefit from this information as well. Slow living isn't just about being slow. Slow living is about creating an environment for our children that they don't have to grow up as an adult and completely unlearn these things. I wanted to give them the best head start possible So for me, slow living is all about freedom to be without rushing the process. What aspects of your day can you incorporate slow living? Let me know in the comments. And until then, keep exploring. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.
What's this, Mama?
This is clove water.
Cold water.
This is my tea. You just dropped a rock in my tea.
I just dropped the rock in your tea.
So what am I supposed to do?
I dropped the
Now my tea tastes like rocks. There's a rock in my tea. I did clean the rock. We got it on our walk and I washed it with soap. So I guess I'm just gonna keep drinking my tea.